I spoke with Jonathan about a week ago, maybe a little bit more, and he said, I want you to talk about what you've done that created some change in behavior. And I thought, oh boy, what did we do? I mean, we do green buildings and so what, and change behavior. So I thought about it, and I talked to my partners a little bit, and I have three stories, and I suspect that the punchline on all of them is not what you might expect. But it's how did these three projects change behavior. The first one is a school on Long Island for extremely privileged children from all different cultures. This is a sketch that my partner did when we started this project, and this is what it looks like. Let me go back. This is the belly of a whale, and was sort of the bone structure of that was sort of the genesis of the design of this project. And this is what it looks like from the outside, and it's a terrific project done before LEED and before Rick and I were partners, so I can claim nothing for this project. But I know a fair amount about it. And it has beautiful materials, and one of the concerns, this is a school that has daycare as part of it, but it also is right through high school. And one of the concerns that was voiced at the beginning was that the kids are going to vandalize this school. I mean, these are high school kids, and they're going to beat this up. And the woman who created the school, Courtney Ross, said, no, if we make it beautiful enough, they'll respect it. So this is one of the lessons, that if you design something sort of down and dirty, people won't take care of it, but if you make it beautiful enough, they will. And indeed, they have. This is extremely, when you come into this building, you take your shoes off. When you come into this building, it's about what your feet feel under you. So the texture of the floor is really important. And there are these little cubbies where you put shoes there, and this is the dining hall. And this is one of the changes that came as a result of this. The students and the teachers eat together. There is nothing disposable in this building. It is all silverware and glasses. Everyone has to take their plates, and just like here, their plates and silverware and glasses, and bring it into the kitchen and scrape the food off their plates into the compost bin. And they learn then that the compost is taken to the farms on Long Island that are growing the food that comes back into the cafeteria. So it's all a very local cycle. And then when the kids go home to their parents, and the kids go home and take these lessons home to their parents. So it has changed not only the way this is a fusion of American and Asian culture. It has a lot to do with biophilia. I mean, this is a biophilic room, if there ever was one, because there's nature as part of the room, and this is sort of a dappling of sunlight coming in through a tree canopy, or what seemed like a tree canopy. And the beauty of all of this is that the lessons that these kids are learning at the school has gone home and has transformed many of the families on Long Island. They're not, the kids, I didn't mean that these kids are all coming from wealthy families. They are privileged because they are going here. There are many kids on scholarship. They have kids from all over the spectrum of society attending these schools. But what Rick thought when he started doing this project was that it was going to be a beautiful school, turned out to be a cultural change for all of the families that are part of this. So, and meditation is indeed an important part of this whole program. This project is the totally opposite end of the scale. This is, for those of you, I suspect that some of you are not fully aware of this project. A week ago, if you'd been in New York City a week ago, you would have heard Alexander Durst toasting the assembled folks in this building, including the mayor and Al Gore, and Rick Fedrizzi, who had just given the team a LEED Platinum project. It is a joint venture of the Durst Organization and the Bank of America. And in 2003, they joined on this project and had two totally different objectives. the Durst family, with their leadership in doing high-performance buildings, was going to create the highest performing, these are probably Douglas Durst's words, not exactly perhaps, the highest performing building that we can do, but it all has to make sense and it all has to be something that others can copy. The Bank of America was building the largest trading floors in New York. Two very different objectives. So we started out, and so this is a view of it from the top. It's the second tallest building in New York, 2.2 million square feet, LEED Platinum, points to spare, all the good stuff. This is the view from Bryant Park. We are capturing all of the rainwater. We use it to flush the toilets, saving half the water of a typical office building in New York City. We have a 5 megawatt cogen plant. We make 2/3 of the building's annual power. At night, we don't need all the power, so we make ice and freeze 44 tanks like this solid at night, and during the day, at the peak of the day, not in the morning, but at the peak of the day, we melt the ice, cut the demand load of the building. Terrific. It's fantastic. We are saving $3 million of energy costs. This is probably an old slide. The number's higher now. And at 1% productivity increase of these employees of the bank, that's $10 million. So you say, man, it's a pretty good picture. How do you do that? Well, you filter the air with a 95% particulate filter, better than most hospitals. You deliver the air from an underfloor air conditioning system. Jonathan, there it is. I'm sitting there thinking, there's your ductwork. It's already there on top of the floor, from the floor below.
Right.
Right. You don't need any ducts downstairs.
There's structures.
Yeah, but anyway, that's another story.
Oh, you must be to get rid of the ducts. You must be to get my ducts.
And this is a view of the typical tenant space, because we worked very carefully with the bank and we said, look, it's so important for all of your employees. They're huge floors. Each floor is an acre in size. The people need to have access to daylight. We don't want to put them in little cubicles. And sure enough, this is a typical floor. This is not the senior executive floor. All of their exterior offices have glass partitions. There is access to daylight from every workstation in the bank. So in terms of biophilia, in terms of being able to just rest your eyes, lift your eyes up and see the horizon, see if it's raining or snowing or whatever outside, it's fantastic. So the bank got their trading floor. Durst family got a high-performance buildings. But along the way, something interesting happened. In 2005, I gave a presentation much longer than this to one of the new people who had been assigned to the real estate group at the Bank of America, Mark Nichols. And before that, it was a real estate deal. And they viewed it as a really good one. They had a terrific partner, Durst family. Can't do better than that in New York. They got 42nd and 6th Avenue in New York City. Come on, big trading floors. Biggest trading floor is 90,000 square feet. Come on, we're all set. Mark Nichols comes along and he starts to understand very, very quickly what this was all about. So Mark Nichols, the bank is headquartered in Charlotte. Mark Nichols goes back to Charlotte and he says to the other folks there, he says, there's something going on here. There's something going on here.
I'm sure he said something a little bit different than that.
No, he's probably started there's something going on. So as a result of this project and this building, and I have to give credit to the Durst family on this, he started going back there and saying, guys, this is different. This is not a typical office building, because look at what they're doing with the energy side. And I had to go down to Charlotte and present this stuff to these people. Look at doing the energy side, look at doing the water side. And we're talking about health and productivity. And by the way, we want to attract and retain the best people. This is going to be fantastic. So this discussion elevated up to the boardroom.